Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to
Yeah, good afternoon.
Advancing. Welcome to Advancing Northeast. And before we move ahead, I would like to start with a little introduction about what Advancing Northeast is. So, Advancing Northeast is a digital initiative by the Ministry of Donor, Northeastern Council, and Northeast Development Finance Corporation. It is a one stop solution catering to the youths of Northeast in the field of education, employment, and entrepreneurship. And to serve this very aim further, we have these career segments opening up where we host career talks with personalities, with globally benchmarked professionals belonging to different interests. And today, here we are with yet another career talk on the occasion of National Farmers Day. And today's topic is career in farming, which is a very, very interesting topic, and I am very excited for it. And today we have expert Mr. Farmer Samir Bordoloi. He is the Secretary General of Spread Any. Spread Any is an NGO. It's a non-governmental organization working towards boosting up the agricultural sector in Northeast India. So welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. And wishes on National Farmers Day, sir. Yes, sir. So we'll begin with a little intro.
Thank you very much. And
Yes. Yes, sir, please.
I would also love to convey Happy Farmers Day to all my fellow farmers and all the people. And thanks to your institute for bringing a farmer to talk about this. And you know, when you were mentioning career in farming, there is something very like joyful to listen, because this is something where we always keep aside. But this will be nice experience talking to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely. So, sir, we'll start with a little introduction of yours in your own words for our audience. Please, sir.
I introduce myself as a farmer, and the way of farming which I am doing. Actually, farming has become a way of life for me. And the way of farming which I am doing now is, I call it compassionate farming, which is more related to how we can co-live or co-create a beautiful world. It is based on the principles of interdependence, how other creatures, the human being, and everything in the biosphere, how we live together and how we grow food, which is one of our major needs. And I just love to learn more from nature and mimic nature in growing food. So I live in a food forest now. I'm living the life which I'm going to speak to you. I live in a food forest which is around 25 kilometers from here in Sonapur, where we grow food for us, for people, for the wellness industry, for secured livelihood, and also for other animals and other creatures. So this is totally a coexistence model. And this is something which I think we have to take it forward because of everything happening with the climate. And then when we talk about climate resilient farming, so this is and I love to bring young people to farming, and would love to like work with them, co-create a beautiful world where the food, which the production of food is our religion as a farmer. And I believe my religion to produce good food, which are healthy and which can give us a sustainable livelihood. And also, most importantly, all the kids in this world eat something which is very healthy and which brings happiness to the families.
So beautifully said, sir. Yes, which brings happiness as well as which is healthy. And compassion farming, I think, is a very, very new subject. Most people are not aware of it. So it's a very wonderful thing that you have introduced, sir. Also, sir, could you tell us a little about your journey? How did you, what, led you here? Your school, your graduation, your post-graduation, everything.
I grew up in the beautiful mountains of Arunachal Pradesh. My childhood was in Tawang. If you have heard of the place, it's a snow-capped, beautiful place. So my parents were serving in the Arunachal government. So my father was an administrator and my mother was serving as a teacher. And so with their profession, I landed up in this beautiful hills of Arunachal, and I grew up very close to nature. And I studied my, up to my class 12, I studied from Government Higher Secondary School, Tawang. And then I got admitted in Assam Agricultural University to study agriculture. Up till third year, I was not so much into agriculture, or it is like same kids. We have this system now where we hunt for the technical degrees, and then it might be medical or it might be engineering, then it is agriculture or other technical things. So I landed up in the agricultural university. But third year, my exposure to the Majuli Island and the beautiful rural life of Majuli, I got so attached to that I could actually value the studies which I was doing it. And then I just passed out from Assam Agricultural University. I did my bachelor's from Assam Agricultural University, and then I got a job, and I started working for the Tatas in their agrochemical division, doing R&D works for their products in the small tea growers and the tea gardens of Assam. And then suddenly I felt like that, okay, uh, this was much more of my introduction to this whole farming thing, and even the plantations, like how the small tea growers were formed, how the monocropping of Assam is going, how the life of the people have changed, and also life of the people has come into like living with cocktails of chemicals in the villages. That led me to think about, okay, I want to do something for my community where we can keep the environment nicely and then do something. So I landed up establishing the first agri clinic of Assam in Jorhat. And Jorhat is my hometown. So I started an agri clinic because it was like, okay, there are doctors for human beings, there are doctors for the pets and all animals. Why not I become a plant doctor? Right? So that was something which came into me, and I started this agri clinic. And and then the journey started when you relate your theoretical knowledge in the universities, and you go to the fields to work with the farmers. Then you are exposed to all the practicalities, where I find that the farmers are more knowledgeable, farmers are more well equipped with the practical knowledge of farming. They know how to adapt, they know how to absorb, they know how to keep patience, they know how to love people, they are all compassionate. So this all my exposure to the farming arena led me to form lots of organizations. Like I started one organization at the initial stage called Prakriti, where with some rural youths, Mohan Bora is a very well-known person now who is working on conservation of the rice varieties. So Mohan and lots of people like him in the villages, we started one organization, and we started working on like how the farmers can be profitable, how actually the indigenous farmers can be profitable. And we started working on the local knowledge wisdom which we find in the farmers. And that was also an eye opener for me, that I was just thinking about, nobody sleeps without food. Everything is like farming has got a very big budget in the whole government policies and priorities. But why don't a farmer child dream to be a farmer? Why don't a scientist in the agricultural university dream that his son or daughter can also be a farmer? So why farmer or a farming is not considered as a viable profession in this country, where 70% of our people are agrarian society, and we still think about, okay, being a farmer or building a career on farming is something a very like not asked for or not seeked for, right? So I started working on that. I started working with schools. I started working with colleges. I became a backpacker to gain more knowledge. And I started traveling my whole Northeast from Nagaland to Manipur, living in the remote villages, learning more beautiful agricultural technologies, which the farmers have, the ITKs, indigenous technical know-hows, and how they are using it, how they are combating all the natural stress they get. It might be floods, it might be landslides, it might be droughts, but the level of happiness after all of this, level of happiness in a farmer's home in the village is something different which we cannot like even think about living in a concreted world in the cities and the urban places. So the love among the family members, the love among the community, the whole community approach, everything is there, which is very slow or lahe lahe kind of life, but so beautiful. And I think that is what now the whole universe is seeking to live so happily in the villages. So that my exposure to those villages led me to work on whatever I have evolved now. It's an evolution, right from starting a small organization, right for publishing agriculture trying to focus on how we bring out the whole local things and how we conserve it and cultivate it and how we grow it. Then developing lots of rural organizations like community-based organizations, landing up in schools and colleges to introduce farming as an activity-based learning model with Farm to Food Foundation and creating a program called Farmpreneur for the Sarva Shiksha Abhijan mission, and then landing up in Spreadany and now living in the food forest, creating a food forest, and then thinking only about how the local farmers can grow local crops and how they can build a circular economy. I think which are all the principles of agroecology or agrobiodiversity which we are talking about today. So this is a co-evolution which has happened. I started with small, then I landed up building big organic farms, and then again coming back to nature and creating a forest and creating some villages where we have combined farming and the forest together. Our baris or the homestead gardens or our hobbies, which are carbon sink, the bamboos. So how we value them and take it into agrotourism, how we bring more people to enjoy this very lahe lahe culture of us forward and then resulting in so much of stress and so much of nature deficit syndrome. So how and now making it as an USP. Like I originally belong to Titabar, which is by the side of the road, which is called as Dhudorali. Like it's the lazy man's road. But I'm so proud lazy farmer of or a slow farmer of Northeast, where we grow our resources. It's not like doing paddy and after that bringing in lots of crops in the paddy field to give so much of burden to the soil which I have, rather than keeping the soil fallow for one season and making the all microbial growth again coming back naturally and then growing my food crops. And my paddy fields in the villages are so beautifully balanced by the bamboo plantations or the hubbies we have in the villages and the beautiful homestead gardens which are called the baris. So it is so balanced life here. So we started working on how we can conserve it, how we can cultivate the local food wisdom, how we consume for our nutritional security and to remain healthy, and then how we as a cluster or a community enterprise, we think about how we commercialize it to the whole world, because the world wellness food industry is $500 billion. And if we think about local food and we build our farming around our local food, we can reach the heights, and every farmer in this Northeast will be proud to call himself as farmer. I prefix farmer in front of my name because I feel like the doctors and engineers, right? I give food to everyone. So why should I feel shy of calling myself farmer? If I'm feeling shy, that means I'm not making profit. If I'm not making profit, then I have to relook in the whole way of farming I am doing. And I have to go more near nature and try to mimic it. So so that I can grow with my inherent qualities. It's very important to absorb what I do. It is very important to like what I do. It is very important to be happy by what I'm doing. It's not a journey of proving myself or proving anybody. It's a journey of how we co-create a beautiful world, and farmers in this whole country and the world are the people who can create a very joyful life for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. Very, very inspirational words you have said here. I'll still click on that term plant doctor, like you mentioned, that everything needs a doctor and also plants needs doctors. And to connect with nature, nature already is so abundant with so many resources and everything. And we just need to know the way. So thank you for, showing the way to the generations, and they can now themselves, at least they have that source to, find the ways and go forward in this direction, and also call themselves farmer and work towards it. So very beautiful words, sir. Can you shed some light on the academic side of this field, on the farming? I'm sure that we need a lot of research before going into the field. We need to study a lot and know about it. So what are the various levels, skills, or subjects, or the top most colleges or institutions that the students can try for?
Okay. Joyce, first of all, I would love to tell you that, say, farming is both art and science, right? So there are so many things which are scientific, and this is also an art of doing it. And this beautiful art and science lies in the hands of our very traditional farmers, right? So I believe that to pursue your career as a farmer, it's very important to just go back to your roots, and also learn with your, when you are in the school and colleges itself, you can just learn the whole thing of growing food with so many farmers who are in your villages, or in your vicinity, right? So learning from the farmers is something very beautiful. It's a very big, it is not a certified or a established institution, but the local knowledge wisdom we have with the farmers, going to a farmer and learning from him, is something I think which makes farming, or to become a farmer, you are very well equipped with the technologies, and also the thought process how to go about that, right? So the practical thing is very important, right? So I would love to say that when you are in the school, now we have started that, we have given activity based learning model for the rural schools, where with their science subject. For example, if a child is learning about how to make a bed to grow some food item on the bed, so if we are calculating suppose 3 feet wide and 10 feet long, the kid can also learn 3 into 10, 30 square feet is the area. So mathematics is also there. So if I am filling up a bed with some compost, so how much of compost, length into breadth into height is the volume. So everything which we learn in the science book or the social science book is something which we can relate to the farmers. So apart from your studies, whatever you do, you are learning about climate, you are learning about like any kind of subject. If you go to a farmer and relate it, so that is, I think, the fast school to learn farming. Okay. And there are so many other organizations which are giving so beautiful courses for this farming. For example, the agricultural universities. We have a very good Assam Agricultural University in Assam, where we can opt for like if we want to do more study about farming and all, so we can join the agricultural university. But there has to be change in the like how we think about. It's not going to an agricultural university to get a job or a degree. So if you want to become a farmer also, you have to learn farming, right? So that is something which is very much important, that we go to an university not only to get a job. It is about, okay, I want to be a farmer, so I join an agricultural university, and the agricultural university have different branches. Somebody wants to study horticulture, somebody wants to study sericulture, somebody wants to study animal husbandry, somebody wants to study like how we do marketing and all, agroeconomics and all, soil, agronomy, everything. There are so many. If you go inside the agricultural university, you'll find so many ways where you can create yourself into a very beautiful or a specific purpose farmer which you want to become in the future, right? Assam Agricultural University, Central Agricultural Universities are there. And moreover, there are so many other organizations. Like for example, I love to talk about Manage Hyderabad, right? Which is an institution where you learn about agricultural extension. You learn about how you become an agripreneur. Today's farmer is also called an agripreneur, right? So how you become an agripreneur. So Manage Hyderabad, those kind of organizations are there. Even now, at Spread Northeast, we have started into a farm learning center, and very shortly we are going to start an Assam Biodiversity School, where we are thinking of how we bring in like the rural youths, how we train them, or with their formal education, how we can club in agricultural education, knowledge about farming, knowledge about climate friendly, eco-friendly farming. So those are the sources. Recently, we have started this integrated natural farming school with Don Bosco Hijuguri, where if you go to Tinsukia, so now lots of farmers' kids in the remote villages, they drop out from the formal education system because after class 9 or class 5, there is no school in the village, or might be they are not so much attracted toward like education or the formal education. They cannot secure good mark, but they have got very good skill in bamboo. They have very good skill in farming and all. So we have started with Don Bosco Hijugure, this integrated natural farming farm school, where all we are now dropouts are coming, and they are learning computer, they are learning formal education, but the main thing which they are learning is how they do compassionate natural farming, right? So there are organizations, there are universities. Now there is one very different kind of university. When I'm talking about those, I'm talking about something which is not like regular type, right? There is one university in Rajasthan which has been started by an Asoka fellow only, and that is called Swaraj University. So there, the students are called not students, they are called khozis. So they go there, they don't ask for a formal degree, they go there, they get admitted. Then the students are given all independence. Suppose if someone wants to learn about organic farming, so the person can, the child can select some mentor and go and work with the mentor, learn practically, and the university will give you the degrees, right? So there are so many innovations also coming in this whole field of education, right? And it is very important to combine education and agriculture to check the rural migration also, because many times rural youths get educated in this formal education system, and they don't want to go back. They don't want to go back to the villages to be a farmer again. So there are so many organizations. If you Google also, you'll find lots of organizations now promoting okay, how this formal education and this agricultural knowledge or a knowledge to become a farmer can move together. So there are so many institutions and organizations where you can explore and learn farming. But for us in Assam or in the Northeast, I think the central agricultural universities have different colleges in Meghalaya, Manipur, Sikkim, and other states also. Assam Agriculture University has got a very good presence in different districts of Assam now with very good intake facility. Only thing is we have to look at another thing which I think we need some policy level also interventions. Farming as a career. So it has to be like many rural youths who want, because they have got the land with them and it's their father's profession. So how they take it forward? They have to come. And in the system of recruitment in the agricultural universities or those institutions, now it is more about merit or more about like what percentage you get. It is dependent on that. So I think lots of entrance test and other things has to be done where the farmers' kid who are not so much privileged to study in an atmosphere where they can get 85% plus also. There are few people who get it, but most of them land up in 60 to 70% of percentage, which does not make them land up in an agricultural university or an institute giving agricultural degree. So I think there has to be some policy level interventions also where people look at, okay, this farmers' kids also get entry into this, and they can pursue this course and they can take forward their father's profession to a different level.
Yes, thank you, sir. You have highlighted almost all the important points. There needs to be a point of intersection between formal education and also practical education. That is very, very important. So to speak of the commercial aspect of farming, in context to Northeast India, where do you see Northeast right now in the farming scenario?
See, if you look at the potentiality, Northeast has got the highest potentiality to look forward to lead the whole farming system in the country now, right? And this will happen when Northeast totally focuses on developing with the local resources they have. We have to convert our bioresources into bio wealth. And this will happen, and Northeast now, we are known for our local varieties of crops. And I told you earlier also, wellness food industry is now more than $500 billion market. And all our local food crops, which are very native to our place, those can be very potential products for the wellness food industry. So I think when we look at Northeast, where it is standing now is like might be there's so many work to be done to bring into that level, but the potentiality is so high. But policy and the way how we go forward has to be made on the inherent strong qualities of the Northeast, then Northeast will be the number one. For example, what I see is we have a huge potentialities in all kind of medicinal and nutraceutical plants. So I think to become a farmer now, when you think about okay, I want to build a career of myself in farming in Northeast, so I have to think about how I become a farmer who grows this nutraceutical plants, and how we become a way we can develop our own products, and also we can be a part of supplying raw materials to so many those companies who are coming forward to buy those products, right? So I think we have to be focusing more on strength. Uh, when I talk about Northeast and where we stand, this region is also having lots of challenges, right? Where
Yes.
we have so many potentialities, we have also lots of challenges. One biggest challenge which is not making Northeast come up to that level where we can lead the whole farming business in the whole country is also the transportation and also storage of our agricultural produce. So transportation is something where we have to look after. We have to think about how we store the perishable things, how we take it forward subsidies, or how the freight when we supply things, how it is taken care of. So I think this is something where we lack in our transportation facilities. We lack in processing units. When we talk about processing units in Northeast, it has to be micro processing units in the village level. Because for example, if I talk about the ginger has got so much of potentialities here. Turmeric has got so much of potentialities here. So if I talk about ginger, if I set up, even if I set up a Sonapur, but carrying raw materials from the mountains of Manipur or mountains of Nagaland, even mountains nearby Sonapur, the transportation and everything is it's a sporadic production. It's happening here and there. The roads to reach those places are not so well equipped. The transportation facilities is not there. So I think uh, we stand in a place where we have to improve a lot, where we have to improve a lot in what we talk about post-harvest management of our crops. And when we also plan, we have to plan our food crops based on our inherent qualities. Then we can lead forward. But presently, I think we are doing good in many crops, and there are more potentialities to develop and grow into this. But it is not like being a place of rice. We don't have to bring rice from outside, right? But now we are bringing rice from outside. We have to be self-sufficient. To be self-sufficient, we have to think about how we rely upon our inherent strengths and how we grow with that. It is not about again bringing millets and replacing our rice with millets. It is have to be. We have to think about how we grow more our local rice varieties, make it into low volume and high value products, and take it forward, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So certainly with the drawbacks, we also have a very positive future ahead. We just need to know the way. And to speak of, sir, again, if we go back to the academic grounds, you studied genetic modification of seeds and plants and chemical agriculture. So can you say something about that, sir? That students, they generally do not even know that these subjects exist and there are subdivisions of it. So what would you like to say on it?
So you are asking a wrong person, because I am so against varietal improvement and genetically modification or genetically modified food, right? I am
Okay.
totally practicing local food, and my freedom as a farmer is to keep my own seeds for the next year, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
in the
So,
name
but
of
you did,
quantity,
yes, sir.
we
But you
don't
did
have,
study that,
yeah,
sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in the name of quantifying food, we don't have to play with the beautiful genes which God has or nature has created here, because those are our identity, right? So
Yes.
yeah, genetically modification crops or other things. These are when you go to the agricultural universities, you will have subjects like the plant breeding and genetics. There are so many biotechnology things coming up now, where students who are interested to work on varietal improvement and who wants to do something, they have got the scope. But for me, what I believe is like it is more about, see, Johar rice of Assam with the flavor which naturally we were getting earlier is something which is the demand in the market. Now with modification, we have increased the production of the Johar rice to some extent, but the scent of the rice has gone down, right? So Chahao or the black rice of Manipur is like when it is local and when it is the raw one, it is very beautiful. But if we think about, okay, we will modify to make it into a more production thing. So there the balance is not happening. If someone who does very good study and can balance that both, then I think that can be thought for. But presently, I believe that we have to grow with our local seeds. We have to grow with our local in all kind of minor fruits of Assam, which can be a very world-class fruit. Like now, if you go to the market, you will get big guavas coming from outside, which are all modified and which people love because they can modify it into okay, they are not hard, it is chewable, it is storable, and all kind of things has been made according to the requirement of the consumer. But this is not God gifted one. This is not the thing which can be a product for the sustainable agriculture or a climate friendly or an environment friendly or art friendly movement. So we have to think about how we develop our polyols, how we develop our leticus, and how we develop all kind of beautiful fruits, the wood apples, the otengas. So those kind of things we have to think about how we make them more productive or more better and take it forward. Productive means it's not only every time when you want to quantify. My personal experience tells me it's not the variety which you change. It is also the soil quality which maintains. If you can maintain the soil properly, if you believe in this beautiful wood wide web, we have created the WWW, the World Wide Web, through which might be we both are talking to each other today. But plants have developed this beautiful wood wide web, which is called the mycorrhizal network, where plant can communicate with each other, plant can share food with each other, plant can balance the whole soil, plant can rebuild the whole soil, which some food crops takes nutrients from it, and it can rebuild when the big trees are there, those fruit trees are there. I think this balancing act is more important. And to learn this balancing act, you have got so many now beautiful even other courses coming in the universities, like sustainable agriculture, like how do agrobiodiversity is something which is very coming up, climate friendly farming systems, even carbon, work with the carbon and all. So these are some subjects which we have to more focus on. rather than thinking about how we modify the gene, how we modify the whole thing and make it into the requirement of the last of the human being, right? We don't have to forget that we are also animals. And then we have to coexist like other animals. We don't have, okay, we should use the brain, but our brain should not be something where you make your farmer buy seeds every year from the corporates. By making it into a hybrid or by making it into a genetically modified crop, you are making the farmer buy the seeds from the corporate. When they sell you the seed, they will sell you the seed treatment chemicals. They will sell you the insect control chemicals. They will sell the fungus control chemicals and everything. They will sell the fertilizers. They will sell the specialty fertilizers. And with the contamination and pollution, when you get sick, they will sell your medicine also. So this all corporations, they know that if they control a seed, they control food and they control people. So we have to be very careful as farmer. When you talk about becoming a farmer, we have to be very careful as a farmer so that I have a watch on my seeds. I have a watch on my what I grow and what I can grow very easily. I have to see that my input dependence from external input dependence is very minimal. I don't spend so much of money so that I don't get any profit out of that.
Yes.
What is happening now is we are going from so many high-tech crops and so many exotic crops, for example, dragon fruits, hybrid rice, hybrid varieties of tomatoes, potatoes, and all. But the cost of cultivation goes so high that farmer cannot make profit. That's why I told you, after so much of advancement in farming, the the bottom line is no farmer's kid wants to be a farmer.
Mm.
Food is the biggest business. Nobody sleep without food, but no farmer's kid wants to be a farmer. So we have to analyze this. We have to question this. Why? So if you analyze and question this, then we'll find that somehow we have gone so far away of nature. Now we cannot even think about, okay, we can be in the roots and we can grow together with the nature.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So the challenges are many, and you have highlighted very, very crucial points. I think the audience listening have been, fruitfully, they have been benefited a lot. And you have highlighted so many points that we really need to reflect upon. So I request everyone to really, think about these points and then go forward in this field. Sir, you are also an achiever of the Ashoka Fellowship. Would you like to say something on the process involved in securing such grants? How do people who are aspiring to grab that? How do they grab the opportunities?
Yeah. Joyce, your voice is breaking down. So, yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are. I think there's a technical lag. Yes.
What I got from you is you are asking me about the Ashoka Fellowship and how people can get access today, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. See, Ashoka Fellowship is a fellowship which is provided by the Ashoka Innovations. It's a US-based organization, and this is started by a very
good. Yes, sir.
Ashoka Fellowship is a fellowship which is given by Ashoka innovators who are based in the US. And it was started by a person called Bill Drayton, who was more closely looking at the social entrepreneurs. Like many times when you work in the grassroots, it has to be a social change, and you become a part of the change where you have to take your livelihood together with you. So he just could realize, or he could feel that most of the social entrepreneurs, they make changes in the society, but it is very difficult for them to run their own, like how they live their own life to dedicate to a very beautiful cause which they have started, right, doing for the community. So he started this fellowship. They have got their office all over the world, and in India the office is in Bangalore, where from to become an Ashoka fellow, you have to start a social entrepreneurship or a social enterprise. where you don't grow alone, but you with you lots of grassroots people and the communities grow together with the solution model which you have initiated, right? So there is a very the process is it's a very like transparent process where a senior Asoka fellow will nominate you when
Mm.
somebody comes in connect with the beautiful thing you are doing, so you will be nominated. And after that, Asoka offering you, and after series of interviews, series of they're coming and visiting you, and there is a very beautiful process where it is you will not feel it like you have been asked questions or something. You will feel that you are just telling your story time to time, and they will just see that every numbers and facts which you are providing are something which is also happening in the grassroots. And then you are selected as an Asoka fellow, and then they provide you a fellowship for the first 3 years of your journey uh, as an Asoka fellow, where they will support you for your living and for all your expenses which the fellow needs. It's not like all you want to because you have to go, because for the change to happen you have to be secure. So it's more about securing the fellows. So that's how it happened for me. It was when I started working with the farmers, created the Green Commandos, and through the Green Commandos movement, how we made the villages to work on together. So one of my friend who is also an Asuka fellow, he nominated me, and I went through this process. And they were very satisfied with like how local people are building up with their own resources without so much of harming to the environment, and how more kids and youths are involved in the whole process, and how you are yourself emerging as a social enterprise. That's how I got this fellowship in 2019. And yeah, there are so many other fellowships and those kind of support system. Now this whole incubation centers are there. For example, in Assam Agricultural University, you have the NIT Hub, and there are so many incubation centers. If you go, there's a very beautiful incubation center in Jorhat, which is in the Bosco Institute. It is called the Hub, and it is started by Bosco Institute with an organization from Germany called Childhood Network, and some other partners are there who have, and there you can go and you can pitch in very raw small ideas which they incubate you as a farmer, or they incubate you as an agripreneur. So there are so many other, like lead fellowship is another kind of fellowship. There's so many if you Google out. So it is very important, this point you have brought in, because every time when I find young people, they tell me that, okay, sir, I want to do this. I want to do this for my community. I want to do this. I want to grow up. But for the initial stage, I need to do a job for some time and get some money out of that, get secured, and then I will start. But what happens, the ideas and everything, your risk bearing capacity, your guts, everything is more when you are very young and the idea is also very young. Once you go more like mature, so your risk bearing capacity becomes very less, so you calculate, right? So what happens in us now is, before creating a wealth, we think about what is the income. So any project is a project when it defines about the cost benefit ratio. So these fellowships are something where you can explore your mind raw. You can work on that. You can go ahead. And for that, you need some kind of dedication where you seriously believe on the change which you want to make and change so many lives together. And you dedicate yourself for that. That is your passion. Then you will get lot of hand-holding support, which you can have a system inside you where you are very secured and you can think that, okay, I can go ahead, and that can be a very Atmanirbharshil or self-sustaining model. So this is happening with me also. I don't have to depend on so many schemes or projects or something. We can do our activities, and there are so many people who come and support us. So there are so many organizations who come and recognize your, and nowadays for all the farmers coming up, I also suggest them that, yeah, we have to use social media so nicely. so that we can create a very beautiful network of people. And this, everything which has come to me, I have so many organizations now working together from the country, from outside the country. We are collaborating with so many people with my work which I am doing. This has all become because I use Facebook very nicely, and Facebook has connected me to those people. So we have to have the technologies which we have in hand in a very positive manner. But even in your Facebook, that will be reflected, which is a very dedicated approach, which is actually happening practically in the ground. And if you have the actual thing happening in the ground and you are so much dedicated, you are sacrificing, you are rolling, you are crying, you are smiling, then people will recognize, people will understand you, and the way becomes very smooth for you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, sir, you since you mentioned about green commandos here on your journey, that was also reason of you behind gaining that Ashoka Fellowship. So what is the status of green commandos now, right now?
See, the Green Commandos, the Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, our Prime Minister, told Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan.
Yes.
So when I started my life as a farmer, and I was learning from those very learned farmers in the villages, I found that the life is so disciplined like a soldier. The farmer's life is also so disciplined as a soldier. It's like 5 in the morning, waking up, going to the field, walking, coming back, a nap in the afternoon, again going to the field, walking, early dinner, sleeping, waking up early morning, dedicated to the whole walk which we do. And this is all physical activities which you have to do. It is tilling the soil, or it is planting, or it is harvesting, everything, right? So it is so similar to the armed forces, right? And again, if you look at, if the armed forces are guarding our borders now our farmers actually are guarding our food. Otherwise, it will be with the conspiracy behind the food of corporatizing food. It would have been all kind of synthetic food all over the market, which already has pumped in. The market is full of synthetic food and some food which is not healthy, right? But now farmer has to be also the soldier to guard that by growing his own local food and promoting his own local food, which is healthy food, right? So it is like a combat which we also do as a farmer. So I thought that, okay, and our youths in the Northeast and even in the country, they are so much like they love to become armed forces personnel. They love to become like where there is an uniform. They'll end up becoming a security guard in other cities also from the rural areas after the education. After BA pass also you'll find security guards. Right? So they're attracted to that. So I thought that okay, if this disciplined lifestyle and this armed forces is so attracting for our kids, so if I ask them to come and learn farming with me, become a farmer, they're not so much interested. So I termed it as a Green Commandos and then just posted on Facebook and all. It became viral. Now they come and pay me to become a Green Commando. And what they do is they go away to the villages, they work with the community. They have created so many community enterprises. So Green Commandos are the social agripreneurs. They are the social agripreneurs. Like I was telling you that social enterprise is the way we have to go forward. Because living in a land of Lahe Lahe, a very nature-friendly land, our experiencing capacity compared to other business communities is very less. An Assamese or a Northeast guy, before starting a business, he is taking advice from everyone whether it will be profitable or not. But other community can smell it. Okay, there is profit in that, they will jump in because they are into this thing. But we are like guarded and padded by nature, so we live a very slow and very happy life. So our experiencing capacity is less, so we have to club together. And the best way of clubbing together is a social enterprise. Where Joyশ্রী can think about, okay, I love this fruit ponule, which is the magical plum, which is sour when it is hard. When you just press it, it becomes sweet. So Joyশ্rী thinks about, okay, my work is now is I'm dedicating myself by conserving this ponule seed, and I'm making planting materials out of that. And I am going to the village. I don't have land in the urban spaces because I live in the urban space. So I go to village, I work with 100 women, and ask them, okay, in your homestead or baris, plant at least 20 numbers of ponnial. So 100 into 20 is coming 2000 plants. 2000 ponnial plants are coming. The first product which Joyশ্রী harvests from with the women group, they make into a very beautiful ponnial juice and take it to the market. The product has got a story how Joyশ্রী, along with 100 women group in the villages, are conserving a product and taking it to the market. So that becomes a social enterprise. Joyশ্রী doesn't need a bank loan. Joyশ্rী doesn't need any kind of support. Joyশ্rী can just make one own website. Joyশ্rী can make one own Facebook page, own Instagram page, and make the story available to the whole of the world. It becomes a low volume and high value product, and Joyশ্rী is sustaining. So there's so many things young people of, when you think your career as a farmer, think of your career as a social agripreneur. Many urban kids will think, okay, I want to be a farmer, but I don't have land. You have thousands, crores of small marginal tribal farmers with beautiful land. You have to go with them, befriend them, create a social enterprise, create that idea, take it to the market. Bamboo is something which is carbon trapping, which is the most carbon trapping crop, climate friendly, and bamboo gives us everything. I'll give you an example how the story becomes a product. In my food forest, we grow bamboo. We call it jatiba, Bambusa tunda. So when I grow food as a food forest, I grow it for the elephants also. I don't want to conflict with the elephants, right? So they come at night and they love to eat the tender topmost part of the bamboo. So they will be breaking the bamboo. They break the bamboo. I don't have to think that there is a destruction. For me, it's a help, because these elephants are making me able to pluck the very tender bamboo leaves, which we just cut it, dry it in the sun, make it into a very beautiful herbal bamboo leaf drink, which has got high content of silica, which has got so much of health benefits that it becomes a 5,000 rupees per kg product in the wellness food industry. My volume might be low, but my value is high. There is a story behind coexistence of elephants and human together. The broken piece of bamboo, after plucking the leaves, I bring it, I just make a pit and just cut it into small pieces, burn it for just warming us in the winters, and just cover it with a jute sack, which is deep in cow dung water, and keep it overnight. Bamboo charcoal is made. And in the pore spaces of bamboo charcoal, all the mycorrhiza from the roots will come there. And we just have to powder it next time. Next day we powder it and then make it into bamboo biochar fertilizer, which is such a beautiful product for the whole world. 700 rupees per kg in the market. Right? So you don't have to have a bamboo group for that. You have to have 100 women or 100 farmers with you who are growing bamboo, and the waste bamboo, they're making it into biochar. Every farmer giving you 10 kg, 10 kg, 100 will give you 1000 kg, 1000 kg into 700 rupees is a big money. So you don't need forward or backward linkage, which you can create by yourself. We live in this kind of land where we can create stories. So our stories should revolve around our inherent qualities, our local crops. Our stories will not come with millets. Our stories will not come with dragon fruits. Our stories will not come with strawberries, where I buy from the seeds to the table. Everything I have to buy, I have to take a loan. I have to take the risk. I have to sell it for peanuts. No price for those produce which are made in bulk. So we have to think about how very calmly we develop those villages and take it into a process. One of my green commander, I'm giving you an example. He started this homestead food forest in his village, which is a very beautiful village in the foothills of Meghalaya. So how you become a social agripreneur? Social agripreneur has to solve a problem in the society also while securing his livelihood. Okay. So this guy, he found that there is no doctor in his village. So many kids are born on the way in the vehicle. So now this guy has started this homestead food forest. We developed this beautiful roselle herbal drink in the village, which is called Mesta Tenga or Tengamora, simple crop through the streets, no tillage, it grows. And sun dry and becoming a 1500 to 1600 rupees kg product. Now this guy, what he has started is agro-tourism for doctors. So now doctors on Saturday and Sunday come to the village they enjoy the village life, but in return they have to give 1 or 2 hours of their service to the farmers. So now the place where they were not having doctors, now they are getting doctors even from outside the country. So solutions are there in the nature. Joyce, we have to look at how we make more nature-based solutions. It's not about like modifying or genetically thinking, engineering something.
Yes,
It's more about how we co-create this beautiful world more with nature. This makes a story. This makes a journey very clear for you as a social entrepreneur, as a farmer. Then you can survive, because making profit in farming is a very difficult ask. So you have to think about how you go ahead. So when you have to go ahead, you have to add services to that. Agro-tourism, food tourism, um, now silk tourism. So many things are there which we can add up, and we can think about how we grow. Sorry.
sir. Thank you, sir. I don't think anybody has ever explained these things in so much detailing like you did. You break through everything, how you align the concept of commandos, soldiers, with the aspiring farmers. And then also you mentioned about doctors and everything. It has been such an insightful session, sir. Listening to you has been a delight. And I think almost we have covered up everything we wanted to know. So this video has become like a tutorial for the aspiring, farmers. And I think people will be proud to say that we belong to the society and we have so much of resources and we do so much. So, sir, lastly, we would like to just, hear a few words from you. Any words of advice to the aspiring youths who are actually willing to contribute towards the farming sector of Northeast India in particular?
So, see, it's not an advice, it's just a feeling which I want to share.
Sir, please.
It's high time we have to be the custodians of our resources. It's high time that we think that we just go back to our roots and take care of our resources, because which has got hawkeye from everywhere now, because these are something which can be very beautiful to make our state into a very beautiful state, the whole region into a very beautiful region, the whole development into a very positive and very successful development in terms of climate, in terms of everything which we calculate now when we call it a healthy or a happy life, right? So I feel like that many young people like you have to come in. You have to think about how you grow together with a very beautiful, hospitable, small farming communities we have in different part of the region. See, hospitality is an inborn character in the people of Northeast, right? We are sometimes obsessed to make people eat or being very hospitable. So we have to think that is our inherent quality. So I think agro-tourism is some aspect where young people have to see by creating those beautiful farms. When you talk about my experience of last 15 years working here, nobody wants to come and see here what I have created a farm in Jorat with 250 cows. They don't want to come and see like, okay, how 250 cows are tied up and how you are milking and how you are growing food. But all over the world now, people want to see how I'm growing food together in a forest, where I'm growing all local food with no technology, only 3 people. Two of them are very elderly people. One is 75-year-old, one is 65-year-old, and me together. How 3 people are taking care of a 30-acre food forest. How it is making us more profitable. People come to see how this guy is creating a village where doctors are coming to give service by themselves and paying money for that. So how this very local food product is made into something which they are serving as a community feast tourism. How we in Assamese we call it booze, the community feast. How they are making it into a how they're see, all the people in the urban places are in nature deficit syndrome condition. So they want to take their kids into the villages. So I think there is so much of potentialities in this region where we can grow. Before creating a wealth, don't think too much of what will be the return. Before starting something, if you go on calculating and analyzing what is my input, what will be the output, it is not going to happen. Do something where you don't need so much of risks to be taken. I was suggesting you some models, like go work with the farmers, identify the existing strength, just take it forward to the whole world, and connect both farmers and the consumers together, becoming a farmer in between with all the farmers. I think you can live. So many farmers, producers, companies are formed. They are formed with a target. They are formed for something everywhere, like what is the performance? Everybody is concerned about that. But how many young people you will see who will come to Netfee or who will come to NABARD to say that, okay, sir, I have started this venture and I want to start a FPC on this. So you have to come forward. You have to come forward and you have to think about, okay, our villagers are there, how we take them together and enterprise and take it to the market. Don't forget to value the local food wisdom. Even when you eat, think about how you pay more money, because you buy soya bean, which is grown by, if you are eating soya chunks also, it is grown by big corporates. It is genetically modified. These are grown in big monoculture farms. But God has given us the Kia, the one, which grow wild. And if you look at the protein content of Dhekya, it is almost similar to the soya bean or the soya chunks. So there are something which we have to think about. We have to think about regenerative farming system. We have to think about less dependence on water. Less dependence on water doesn't mean that you change the food habit from rice to millets, because millet is a dryland crop. So very successfully, we will make millet cakes, millet biscuits, and make millet more popular than rice. No, we are rice eaters. We have varieties. We grow in the room where we don't need water. We just throw the rice and it grows in the room. We have to think about how we grow with that, rather than, again, bringing in some millet crops where the seeds will be sold by the corporates. Where everything will be led by banks and credits. Yeah, banks and credits we will need, but we will need it more in the processing, packaging, how we make it into a post-harvest management, how we take it to the market. We need the support there, then there will be no NPAs also. NPAs will come down when the credit money is actually going to the place where the farmers of Northeast need that. You young people has to lead this. It has to be a movement. It has to be a movement. It has to be a revolution. And this revolution has to be an economic revolution led by the young people of Northeast, by becoming the custodians of the local resources which we have. We have to grow with that. Don't try to introduce anything which is not new to us.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the words of wisdom. I think that we could really, grab a lot of it, tapping on those points which are actually the need of the hour. You have brought out certainly a lot of things that we need to learn as the youths, and we can just hope for people like you to come forward and, guide us through the same. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Joyce,
yes, sir. Yes,
I'd
sir.
also like to invite young people to become green commandos with me. Sonapur is very near. We have a very beautiful camp where you can have the life of a farmer for 3 days. Our model is 3 days, where you can come, you can stay in the camp, you can enjoy. Next camp is from 28th to 30th, where we are more concentrating on agro biodiversity this time, how we grow together. So I would love, or I will invite people to come and join this whole green tribe we are building of the Green Command.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for bringing it up, sir. Even I would like to, want to join it for sure if I am able to. Thank you so much, sir. And everybody listening, you can just go and grab the opportunity. I think this is very important for us all. So thank you, sir. We hope for more such collaborations in the near future, that we get to, host such more, if not online, offline meetings. Thank you for your time, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.